I'm not looking at the screen.
Oh, you're not recording. Now we live. All right.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Courtesy of bow.com. Oh, start over. I did that wrong. 3, 2. Courtesy of bowsports.com, stitcher.com, iTunes. You subscribe to this lovely, wonderful, sexy podcast for free. Tune in media for your mobile devices, Google Play, and now fresh on Spotify. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the show that we so lovely call Bow on Bulls. The show totally, utterly, and forever dedicated to the Chicago Bulls and NBA talk. I am Big Dave.
I am Chris.
What's happening, sir?
What's up, man? Your voice has
I'm
vastly
Chris.
improved. It's
yes.
crisp. You brought all our speakers, my headphones.
I've definitely turned you down. I've turned you down.
Dude, when I ended the show, I'll be looking at the track, and I got like big ass peaks coming in. I got a clip.
You know, last week when I was in New Orleans, I played one of the guys the podcast because he asked me what I did, and I was like, oh yeah, I do these podcasts and everything. And he turned it on, and it was like, bow. He was like, oh shit. He said, man, dude, I'm gonna listen to your show in the morning when I'm trying to get up. But we got special guests with us today. We got our guys, man. They like family, man. We got Christian and we got Dre from According to Sources podcast. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing today?
Man, doing good, man. First things first. Can you fill us in on the discussion y'all were having about me before we were doing the show?
Oh, I was just saying, I wish I was rich like you. You know what I'm saying?
Is it because of the fantasy football titles? Is that why you feel this way?
I mean, that was the last thing on my mind. But I feel like every time I come on this podcast, it was like we talking about. I wasn't even part of your win, man. I had nothing to do with it. I think Chris was in there. Chris, was you in there with them?
No, I wasn't.
See, neither one of us was even part of your win. But every time According to Sources comes on, was it the According to Sources fantasy football? Is that what it was? I don't even think it was that. It was some other name. Why you always coming at me with stuff to win, man?
Oh, let me allow me to retort. I'll definitely because you're in the thread. That's the only reason. Okay. It's no other reason. No. Dre. You and Christian.
I'll take it.
Wait a minute. Did they talk shit last time? Was that y'all? He told me some people were like bragging and talking on
no, I wasn't. This is our first year that Dre brought us in.
Okay.
To the thread, so I wasn't in the fantasy football that they did. So I don't know if they were talking crap or not. Was
I
it like that?
Apologize to y'all too for bringing me up to that thread.
Oh, what? What's the apology for?
No, I'm just throwing shots.
You should be sending apologies to them because I've been having a ball, man. I absolutely love that thread, man. It is fun. It is awesome.
It's hilarious. They're all funny.
It's like I tell people all the time, you can't come up in there like Martin Lawrence said, when you first walk in jail, you can't come up in there like, listen up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we run it up in here. You can't come in there like that, man. You will get dealt with real quick.
It's a lot of
we've had our fair share.
A lot of characters.
Yeah, man. And I've seen it. I've been a part of it. It's fun. It's just fun, man, to meet like-minded cats from literally all over.
Yeah, I just watch from afar. Every now and then I'll chime in and somebody say something really crazy. But then by the time I think about it, Dave already, chimed in. I'm like, all right, Dave said it.
Yeah, I try to stay out of a lot of it. Yeah, yes. He is the smart one. This is true. This is true. I try to stay out of a lot of it until, because I just watch y'all and it makes me laugh, man. And y'all just so funny. And like Chris said, a lot of times you all say exactly what I wanted to. So it's nothing for me to say, man, unless, somebody just says something absolutely insane or something like that. Like Kobe is better than Mike. Then I'm in there.
Chris was just saying we've had our fair share of people jump in that thread and just say some outlandish stuff.
Outlandish.
But it's all in good fun.
It really is. It's a lot of fun, man. And I really appreciate, what I'm saying? I've told you this before, but I really appreciate you letting us in there to do that, man. Because just knowing y'all, you know what I'm saying, and the connections we've made just from doing this on the thread, man, like has helped me out tremendously.
Yeah, that was the whole purpose behind it. At first it grew pretty quickly because I think, Chris, who was it at first? It was like me. I mean, it was me, you, Devin, Rob, BTG.
Yeah.
And
BTG.
then it grew, and I think it grew from there. Like then we just started adding people periodically.
Yeah, that was last June.
Okay. Wow, man, y'all grew that fast.
Yeah,
man, that's excellent,
because
bro. That's awesome.
Whenever there's people talking about sports, especially young black men, everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to get their opinion heard and across. So yeah, it grew pretty quickly. Now it's about like 30 people in that thread, and then it's like some other people that are just they pop in and out. You'll see Snotty jump in every now and then, and I've seen some other like big known bloggers, from basketball breakdown and stuff like that, and some of those guys when they're tagged into something, they'll jump in. I think Chris got into it. Who'd you get into it with, Chris?
Recently?
Jesse Washington?
Yeah, dude. I think it was from what part of ESPN?
Undefeated.
Undefeated. Talking about black men and like going to college and graduating instead of trying to go pro and act like go pro sports and stuff. And that most of these athletes just have filler classes. Like you're gonna major in Swahili. Like what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that in the real world? And like I understand education is important, but there's that money in front of you. It's always time to go back to school if you make the time for it, man.
Yeah, it's your life, man. It's what you want to do. If you want to make money, then go to the NBA. If you want education, stay in college.
Yeah.
Or you can do both.
Or you can do both.
Go to Africa and speak Swahili. Yeah.
They want to do that.
Wakanda forever.
Forever. Oh, hell no, Karen.
That was the funniest thing, man.
That was so, man. It's just it's a staple now. So it's a thing now. Like I just say that all the time. It's a thing. But I want to talk to you fellas real quick about the Bulls. We recapped the season last week. Talking about the Bulls season, everything going forward. I want to know what you guys felt about the season. Did it go as planned for you all? Were you disappointed in it? And what do you see in the future for the team?
I'll let you go, Chris. Go ahead.
I think Dre. I think I know what he's gonna say, but before the season started, me and Dre made a bet saying that the Bulls. I said the Bulls will win 30 games, maybe 31, and that didn't happen. So I forget what I owe him, but
I forgot.
It'll come to eventually.
I
forget. Yeah, I mean 27-55. It's not terrible. I mean for a team that didn't have their best player on paper half the year, but it's a lot of improvement. Like, that's going to come eventually, but I think Larry shining the way he did, as bright as he did, even with all the adversity, I think that's a major step in the right direction. You
go ahead, Drew.
I agree with Chris. I think the season, for what it was worth, what they were, trying to accomplish, I think they did as well as can be expected. I think Lowry being as good as he was a shock to a lot of people. We thought he was going to be good. Nobody expected that he could be as good as he potentially can be.
Yeah.
And they also found a way to lose enough games at the end to get themselves past that 9-10 lottery pick. Now they can potentially get the 6th pick. And, Michael Porter Jr. might fall down to them around that slot. And if he does, great, because I wanted him because I knew we probably weren't going to be as bad as Phoenix or a couple other teams. So if we could get Michael Porter and put him together with what we have, that's fine. They were winning a lot of games. And I think I came on the podcast and we all said it at the same time. They're not going to lose every game. We all knew that. And it was too many Bulls bloggers and just like people in general, the blog boys that are breaking down draft odds after every win. It's like, come on, man. They're not losing every game. They lost enough games to get themselves a good draft pick. I loved the maturation of Fred Hoiberg as a coach. He coached this year when people believed that he could not coach. He coached that team. Now, they lost a lot of games by big numbers, and that happens when you don't have talent. But when they were playing well, they played well, and it was primarily because of the stuff that he drew up. He's a really good coach. I don't have anything bad to say about the season. I'm just ready to get to the draft and see who we get.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
When it comes to Fred, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he first got hired in his first couple months into the year, and then eventually after his first season, people were calling for his head, And one thing that most of us kept saying, people that watch these games all the time, that give him some talent and we'll see what he can do with it. And he's more than proven that he has what it takes to coach these guys. Now, will they continue to give him what he needs? That's the main question.
No, they're gonna re-sign Jimmy Butler and put Rajon Rondo and Dwayne Wade. Like the grand scheme is to have as much non-shooting as possible in a league where 3-pointer is king. Yeah, it was smart.
Real quick, like, what was the difference you see this year between Fred this year and Fred last year? Like, give me a couple of things that you saw.
Guys that listen to him. I think that's the biggest part, right? Like Jimmy Butler isn't going to listen to Fred Hoiberg. Rajon Rondo isn't going to listen to Fred Hoiberg. Dwayne Wade damn sure isn't going to listen to Fred Hoiberg. He has 3 championships under his belt. He's a Hall of Fame player. You think he's going to listen to a second-year coach who doesn't have the backing of Pat Riley? He didn't even want to listen to Eric Spoelstra. and he had Pat Riley backing him. It took them 2 years before they actually listened to him and to what he was actually preaching. And you think he's going to listen to Fred Hoiberg? I think it's about he's a young coach, and you cannot give him veteran players. It just doesn't work that way. He never even really been in like the NBA circle. He's been a player, but it wasn't like he was Steve Kerr, who'd been in the circle for years. Like Steve Kerr worked with the Phoenix Suns for years. He was in the circle. He knew how the NBA game worked. He knew how the system operated. Fred Hoiberg didn't know any of that, and it takes time. And then you throw him in there with Pau Gasol and Derrick Rose, and then Rajon Rondo and Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler. It's too much. It was too much to ask of a young coach to come in and win with that team when a dude like Tom Thibodeau couldn't win with that team. It was too much. And I think I constantly said it. Me and Rob on the According to Bawl podcast, we would argue all the time about it. When I would be telling them, I'm like, man, you have to wait before you make a judgment on whether or not he can coach. I would say it all the time. I don't know if he can coach or if he can't. I just know he hasn't been given the opportunity to. So once he's given an opportunity, if he sinks or swims, then we make a decision. But before that happens, we can't jump to the conclusion that he's not good. He was too good in college to come in here and just be a piece of crap. Like, that's not how it works. And then you have all these other coaches telling you all the time, oh, yeah, we steal Fred Hoiberg stuff all the time. It's great. Well, it works with those other teams because they have actual talent, guys that'll listen to it. Now the Bulls have guys that will actually listen to it. Now when the talent catches up to that, maybe he'll look a lot better. Coaches look a lot better when they have talent.
It's true.
The Bulls didn't have any.
Well,
that's not his fault.
No, they went to the playoffs last year. This is the thing. So I kind of push back. I push back against that because, like, I'd rather Rondo run the team than anybody run the team. Evidence playoffs today. So I actually have an issue with Rondo wants to run the team. That's cool. I'm okay with that. And like they went to the playoffs though, and it wasn't for the injury. They could have went to the second round.
They would have.
So like even though I think your point is valid. I think your point is valid that it maybe it's not enough time to evaluate whether or not he's a good coach. But they did they did win last year somewhat.
People still didn't give him the credit for that. He didn't get the credit for that. And there's a lot of negativity around him even last year.
Yeah, I agree. And I wonder if it's just him, like you said, being young, not knowing how to adapt to older players coming in, or trying to maybe it just don't know how to deal with it, period. And so they're like, he don't know what he's doing, so he's going to do our own thing.
I think that is a part of it. But it also takes time. Like, okay, look at a guy, like I always look back at like Chauncey Billups, right? He's a point guard. Point guards are basically extensions of the coach, right? Mm-hmm. When Chauncey Billups came into the league, he was labeled a bust because his first couple years he was garbage.
But I did not like him at all.
But as he matured as a basketball player at the point guard position, now he's missed the big shot. Everybody loves Chauncey Billups. The same thing applies to coaches. I think what has happened with coaches is people saw Steve Kerr come in and immediately win a championship. Whereas like everybody's supposed to come in and do that. That's not how this shit works. Right. It doesn't work like that. every coach has to be allowed to grow. And we've reached a point in like sports in general where, well, if you're not winning like that, well, you're supposed to be kicked out. Well, I think you have to let these guys, especially these college coaches, you have to allow them to mature as well as you would allow your players to. It's like looking at Markelle Fultz and then just being like, well, that's it, he's garbage. And then cut him. Well, this is his first year. You have to let them play. You have to let those guys coach, and you have to let them get their own coaching voice and get their own coaching system. And then you have to give them the players to help them succeed. I always say coaches put players in positions to succeed. Front offices put coaches in positions to succeed. The Bulls front office didn't do that for the first 2 years. They just didn't. Because they suck.
We'll find out once that they get good whether or not Fred could adapt and a little better and win with talent. So we'll find out.
Yeah, but he's right because in this season, man, like those games that they won, I mean, they were winning with pure trash on the court.
Oh my God!
And I mean, and people were and I was telling Chris that people were fans, like you said, the blog boys and those people making me so angry because they're like, why aren't the Bulls tanking? Why aren't they putting themselves in positions to lose? And I'm like, oh, okay, who are they playing? Man, they playing Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday?
He is.
Like, you talk, Justin Holiday is the reason that we're winning games now?
Sit
like, what are you
Holiday
talking
down.
about?
Sit Robin Lopez
They're like,
down.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, man, look at him. He's playing Jerry and Grant. Like, it's Jerry and Grant.
You want him to play Jerry and Grant.
I want Jerry and Grant in there. Cameron Payne
Drive
in there.
The hole, not having any shot, and just falling to the ground.
Right. Come on, man. They brought in a dude, Kilpatrick. I mean, they bring in Kilpatrick, who I swear they got from like Forever 21, working the cashier, something like that. And he came in and dropped 19 in the fourth.
He's balling.
Come on, man. How you not trying to win? You know what I'm saying? How is that trying to win?
The front office did everything in their power to get them to lose. And it only started working at the end of the season because they were winning games up until then. They have like a 10. Did they go on a 10-game win streak?
Yeah,
or something close to it.
12.
Like something like, come on. Like they were trying. The front office was trying. Like, okay, look, we're gonna take marketing ain't gonna play for like 3 weeks. All right. They're still winning in like these odd games. All right, then look, we know Dunn is healthy. We're gonna keep him out for another 2 weeks, and they're still finding ways to win.
Right.
Valentine is out there dropping 5 out of 6 3-pointers. Like, come on, man. There's all these random things happening, and those things don't happen unless the stuff that they're running is good.
Correct.
It's not like they're out there playing a game at the Y where they're just running up and down the court. No, these are NBA basketball teams they're playing against. You have to run stuff. They were running good stuff.
To your point. And one thing I did enjoy about the Fred offense this year was that, of course, you have people on the floor that could shoot, but the ball really stuck. And of course, that was something you saw last year. Even though they won games and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't that pretty to watch. But it was kind of fun. And I think we all had the same sentiment that this year, even though they lost games, it was fun watching them play because the ball moves and you had guys that could hit threes and never got stuck and never got boring to watch on the floor. So that's Fred's offense. Then that's a plus.
Yeah, a super plus.
You get rid of Jimmy Butler, and the ball can move around a little more.
Ball's not sticking on one side of the floor. Yeah, you're right.
A million jab steps and pumps.
Jimmy get the ball. Like, let me think about it for a couple minutes. We're gonna do the ball. Let me give it some thought.
Just hold it. Just hold it. Just like 5 straight seconds.
Look, Melo Jr. out there. Melo Jr.
5 on the shot clock. Time to go. You know what I mean? But man, we're gonna get into Jimmy Butler a little later. But I also wanted to know quick, what was you guys' biggest surprise? Which players surprised you the most on the Bulls this year with their play?
Chris?
Out of everybody on the roster, to be honest, I think Chris Dunn was probably the best player. Maybe like the way he played, not just stat wise, because even when he didn't have his best like shooting game, you could always see him affecting the floor in some other way, whether it's passing and play some pretty good defense on 1s and 2s. He even played against some 3s in some matchups. I feel like he's the point guard of the future. Hopefully, like Dre said earlier, we get Porter Jr. and we don't, for some reason, which I don't know why anyone would have, is to draft Trae Young. But
God, no.
I was seeing some mock drafts a couple of days ago, and it was like at 8, the Bulls were going to pick Trae Young, and I was like,
no,
why?
They would be out of their mind to pick him.
Yeah.
What use is he for? I mean,
yeah. It's really no point. I mean, you gotta, like you said. I mean, you just said it all, Chris. Yeah, it's no point in drafting Trae Young. It really is. It's no point, in my opinion.
Not for this team, no.
Yeah, not for this one. Dre, who do you feel be your biggest surprise?
Bobby Portis, actually. I always felt that I always mess with Chris and I call Bobby a bum, which I don't think he's a bum. I don't think Bobby is as good as Bobby thinks he is. And for me, players like that are always a problem. Guys who think they're better than they actually are. Now, the problem with Bobby for the past few years has been consistency. Like he'd always have these games. It's like, man, Bobby just goes off. And it's like 10 straight games where it's like, where the hell is Bobby Portis? Where that didn't happen this year. This year, he was a consistent 10.5 rebound guy. I don't know what his averages are, but it felt like 10.5.
13, 6, and 35 from 3.
See? He's a consistent double-digit score, 5, 6 rebounds. And it felt that way the entire season because that's the way it was. And for the majority of his career, it hadn't been like that. It'd be these 2-point games and 3-rebound games, and then it's like a 20-point game and a 12-rebound game. But it wasn't that this year. So that was always my biggest issue with Bobby, and he kind of cut it out. He was a consistent performer throughout the entire season, and that is something that I appreciated watching throughout this year. He's still a bum, though, Chris. Still a bum. I'm on my Just Blaze. He's a bum.
Christian, what were you seeing in Bobby Portis, man, to make you believe? Like before this?
I mean, he's just one of those kind of like 5 techniques, sometimes maybe 4, that can play on the wing. I mean, he's 6'11", maybe like 240, somewhere around there. And I don't know. It's just something about his effort on offense, like driving to the rim or just boxing out. Like, there's just the little things that I see that I think that maybe with the right talent around him, the right lineups, I feel like he could thrive. You know, I don't think he's starting material, but I do think he's a quality 6 man if you want to bring him off the bench. But I think he surprises a lot of us, especially 3-point shooting. Like that's pretty good for a guy that doesn't jump much. But or at all. At all. I mean, how are you 6'11"? You're afraid to go bang? I don't get it.
He can't.
I don't. He can't. You got 5'11" dude from Dallas. What's his name? Dennis something.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr. 5'11", banging on 7'2" people, but you 6'11", you afraid to touch the rim.
We have slide tape underneath this vertical.
Yeah. But we have, I really haven't seen, we have 2 people on our team who are tall and can't jump or dunk, and that's Denzel Valentine.
Oh my!
And that's Bobby Portis. And I really haven't seen that before. That's weird to me. I mean, Dub has always told me about Bobby Portis. He called him Bobby No Hops Portis, like all the time. Like anytime he goes up for anything and it gets blocked, I get a text about it.
Bobby No Hops.
all day long. Because I'm with you, Christian. I believed in Bobby Portis from the beginning. When I would watch his tape and I watched his just watching what he did in college and seeing where he was mentally. This dude is out of his mind. I mean, they were like, well, what do you do to get ready for a game? And how do you get hyped up? And he was like, I think about somebody slapping my mother. Like, yeah, okay, I want this guy on my team. I need this. And I mean, I got ridiculed and I got talked about Bobby Portis, man. So because I also said his ceiling at his best, I felt his ceiling was like Rasheed Wallace and Kevin Garnett. And I felt that way. And I still feel that way. But he won't get there.
Yeah, because they can jump there.
Yeah, because they actually have athletic talent. You know what I'm saying? They can actually jump. But I know where his ceiling is. Yeah. But to see him actually achieving and being a good and not only being a good player, but also being a good leader. Because Kilpatrick said he's staying with Bobby Portis. He said that's where he stays. He said, I live out of my hotel, but I stay with Bobby Portis.
That's awesome. But the thing that you just said is important, is that you knew his ceiling. The most important thing is that now he does. He didn't know that before. He knows what he's capable of doing, and he no longer plays outside of that.
That's true.
That is an important part of growing as a basketball player. I just can't do. I can't dunk on this dude. I'm not gonna try
it. Don't do it. And what's interesting, another part of that and realizing that is coaching, because the coach have you realizing exactly what you can do on the floor. So confidence and coaching is why Bobby Portis is where he's at. So yeah, I thought my biggest surprise was Cameron Payne, because the fact that the dude could even dribble was a shock to me. So the fact he did anything on the court this year, and I would see him get 10 points, and he's better defensively than I thought. And he would get like 3 steals a game, and he would actually run the actual offense well. So yeah, I'm completely was in shock and surprised about Cameron Payne. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited about the team going forward. Michael Porter Jr. does seem like the pick we're gonna take. I wasn't super high on him until my brother told me about him. And told me, no, this is the dude you want. This is the guy crying after a loss. You want a guy like that on your team. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm all in on Michael Porter Jr., man. Do you see any clashes with the lineup? You know, I mean, you got another 7-footer out there on the floor with you who you're trying to have spread the floor. Do you see any clashes with that?
Not necessarily, because Michael Porter is kind of he's an athletic wing, run up and down the floor. He can post a little bit, but like he's more like their games. There's not a lot of overlap. They're not going to be on the same spot on the floor a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And it's never bad to have multiple big dudes that can handle the ball, shoot the ball, dribble the ball. Like that's like you want that as often as you can get it. Especially in today's league, you want guys. So, like, if they run a pick and roll, you can switch. We can switch this because there are no real big men in the game anymore. It's like Embiid, and that's about it at this point. I don't even count Hassan Whiteside as a big anymore because you see the way he's playing. You know, so
on the bench,
you want as many people, you want as many interchangeable parts as possible, as many guys that can do multiple things as possible at a high level. You got like Markin that can shoot the ball at a high level. Like Michael Porter can pretty much do everything. He can get the rebound and be like a Ben Simmons type of dude. Get the rebound and take it down the court.
He can pass it like
he can pass the ball. Not
Jokic.
Like Simmons. Simmons is like Magic Johnson with his vision. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Porter isn't like that. But you want a guy that can grab the ball and push it. And then you have people running on the wings. You got Markkanen in the corner. You got LaVine running down, looking for a oop. Like it's like you want that type of offense where you can fly up and down the court and run with young legs. So no, I don't see any issues with them too. If that's what we end up getting, hopefully we do. I hope his back isn't an issue. That's the only thing that worries me about him.
Yeah. So that would be Dunn at the 1, LaVine at the 2. That means you have to put Porter Jr. at the 3.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then Markkanen to be the 4, and they bring him back Rolo next year, so he's playing the 5.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a nice one with Bobby Portis and Denzel. Your next 2 off the bench. That's a nice little team.
Oh, Denzel. Oh, I don't know about
that. Yeah, 30. So now you got a problem with Denzel. What's wrong with Denzel?
Felicio.
Dude, that's trash right there. Trash with legs.
Felicio took a huge step back this year.
The trash can run around with legs put out the bottom of it. There's a trash can on the court.
Right. He did win the Will Perdue Award because he airballed a layup. So
he bricked the airball finger. I don't know what that was, man.
You win the Will Perdue Award. I mean, you're 7 feet tall, airballing layups. So I'm a little concerned. That concerns me a little bit. And then what bothers me, he has flashes where he looks like a competent basketball player.
Man, he has. It's like he gets like lost in what's going on during the game. Like he daydreams a lot.
So is he like a broken clock?
I don't know what he is.
You just write like 2 times, like the play just goes around, and then you're like, oh, it's your time. Oh, what a move by Felicio. And then next thing you know, the clock is broke again. Oh, and Felicio throws it into the stands.
He's like, after that, he's like, I still get paid, right?
I still get a check, right? 32 mil. You getting this check? Can't be mad.
Did my job.
All right.
I can be mad. I can be mad.
Final question on the Bulls. And Chris and I kind of talked about this last week, but Zach LaVine believes he's the number one guy on this team. He believes he's the man. I believe it's Lauri Markkanen. Personally, I think Lauri Markkanen is the guy going forward for this team. Do you see any kind of conflict coming from that? Like Zach LaVine wanting to be the man? Or are you okay with Zach LaVine being the number one guy?
Chris?
Actually, I've been saying it from the beginning of the season when they first drafted Lauri. And everyone was talking about, it was this guy. He's from Arizona. Yeah, you see, he can shoot it all and everything, but he's not nobody. I'm just like, okay, we'll see. Because I watched some of his games in college, and I was like, man, this dude can shoot it from anywhere, and he can shoot it off the dribble, drive it to the hole when he wants to. And when the shot isn't going, he's, like I said, just like Dunn, he's affecting the floor in some way, whether it's distributing, rebounding, effort. He's got it. That's why I think he's number one. And to be honest, it's not that I don't like LaVine. It's just there are a lot of things that he does well, and then there's some things that he doesn't do well, which affects games.
Like defense.
Defense.
What's that?
Exactly. Like there's so many. Like we've talked about it on the pod before. There's been so many times where Markkanen has been open at the 3-point line, or he's just been open for something like a pass, a look. And no one's looked his way. Like he's a forgotten child of the young pucks. Like I don't get it. Like they forget he's there.
Yeah.
And one thing with LaVine in the game, he breaks the offense. You saw it in the first couple of games with the Bulls that the offense wasn't as flowing as it used to be because he could get his own shot. So he feels the best player on the floor. So the offense wasn't that smooth. So yeah, it'd be interesting down the road how he adapts.
Man, I can't tell you how many games I've watched this past season when Markkanen's had less than 10 shots a game.
Oh,
I'm like, what?
Christian, I would be going crazy. Like, why isn't this dude shooting at least 15 to 20 shots a game? Like, why? And I understood it was because he's a rookie. I get that, but still. You know what he can.
Yeah, it's stupid that he takes.
You see his talent. Give him.
It should never be a game where he takes 5 shots.
Ball and let him do what he does. I mean, you absolutely Dre.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit there, but. Can you hear me now?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I hear you. I heard you loud and clear, man.
Okay, you good. It should never be games where he takes 5 shots and Justin Holiday takes like 18. Like that's just stupid. Like I didn't have a problem with Dunn taking shots. I didn't have a problem with LaVine taking shots. When those guys like Holiday, that's stupid to me. That should never happen. I don't have a problem with LaVine thinking he's the best player. By all means, if you're a great basketball player, you're supposed to think that. And I think what we'll see happen this year is if Markkanen is going to be that guy, you'll see him take that step. And, basketball players know when somebody else on their team is better than them. Mm-hmm. And they fall in line behind that. And if it gets to the point where LaVine doesn't want to, then you let him go. You do something with him if it's become a problem. But if Markkanen is going to be that guy, it'll show itself this season. I think this first season was a filling out process for him because he's a rookie. He's not a rookie anymore. No. He played damn good as a rookie. Now you further that. You go you take a different step. You get a little bit further in your progression as a basketball player. And then you see where you go from there. And it's not just LaVine either. Like I'm sure Dunn thinks he's the best player, which he isn't.
Right.
He isn't. So they're going to have to figure that out. But I don't think it's going to be like some Kobe, Shaq, Kyrie, LeBron type animosity and beef to the point where somebody is like begging to be traded I think it's just something they'll
those are Hall
figure
of
out.
Famers, though.
Yeah, those are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, very good point.
Wait, is Tyree Hall of Famer? Just ask y'all real quick.
Kyrie,
no.
right now?
Yeah.
Not yet.
No.
Right
You don't think
now,
so?
I don't
You
think
don't
so.
think
How many All-Stars has he been to?
Every year, like he goes all the time. Like then he
He's
goes
had
rookie year?
6. He's had 6, I think.
Okay, that's a good amount of All-Star games.
Yeah, he's done well.
Okay, 6 All-Star games. This is Grant Hill's resume. 6 All-Star games, but he won a championship though.
But
He won a chip. So yeah, I think he's Hall of Fame, man. Because like the only thing he doesn't have is like a
the lock is 7.
gold medal, maybe.
The lock is 7 All-Star games. If you get 7 All-Star
5.
games,
He's been to 5.
Okay.
5 All-Star.
If you get 7, everybody who has 7 All-Star game appearances is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but he does have an All-Star MVP.
That might count for 2.
Yeah, and he got that in his second year. He got that in his second time being there. So
I just don't see Hall of Fame, but I guess so. The resume says so.
I mean, look, NBA champion, 5-time.
Yeah.
I mean, and he has to make some All NBA teams too.
But he doesn't have a lot of playoff wins. I don't think he does. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of like a thing. Like a lot of guys, have a lot of playoff wins.
Yeah, he only been to the playoffs since LeBron been there.
Very good point. Yeah.
Right. So it's not like like these runs.
Yeah.
So
I mean, with Boston, we'll see because I expect big things from him in Boston.
well, that team next year is gonna be.
Oh
my God,
nasty.
LeBron better get a championship or try to get Boston traded.
Yes.
Or something.
Let's get in.
He going to Philadelphia.
Because that Boston team is gonna destroy Cleveland.
Gonna be mean, man.
And
Well, let's get
into draft picks.
Nasty. Let's get into the playoffs then, fellas. Let's talk about that. Let's start in the East. We just mentioned the Boston team. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards because it's probably right now for me the least entertaining one in the East right now. So the series is 2-1. You saw the Wizards come out, do what they were supposed to do on the home court.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see going into Game 5, and who do you see? Dre, I'll ask you first. Who do you see coming out winning this series?
It should be Boston because they actually like each other. Like I think that's an important part of being a basketball team.
Wait a minute, so Milwaukee doesn't like each other? Milwaukee doesn't like one another, or what's going on?
They just don't have enough shooting on that team to you said Milwaukee?
Great talk.
You said Milwaukee. Or do you mean did you mean the Wizards?
Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. I was talking about Boston and Milwaukee. Excuse me.
Yeah. You talking about Boston and Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I was like
my bad. Boston and Milwaukee. I think Boston Boston should win that just based on the fact that Milwaukee doesn't have any shooting. And Eric Bledsoe can't stop Terry Rozier. So
he did yesterday.
yeah, I mean, I think they did collectively as a team, but
yes,
Bledsoe had 2 fouls in 2 minutes, so he wasn't even out there for like a majority of the first half. He was sitting on the bench watching, and I think they made a collective effort to not let Rozier just do whatever the hell he wanted to do in the game. But they have to find a way to stop Brown and Tatum, and they haven't been able to do that. I mean, besides that game, that one game. But Al Horford and those 3 guys are killing them. And it took a big effort from guys that had not done anything prior to that. Like, you had Thon Maker. I think he played like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He couldn't even get on the floor the first 2 games.
No.
Same thing for Jabari. He played like 30 minutes. He couldn't even play at all the first 2 games. And so I guess the question is, do you expect that to continue or for Boston to continue doing what they were doing? And I think it's much more sustainable for Boston than it is for Milwaukee.
Christian, how do you feel about it?
Well, apparently to our good friend the East just thinks that the Bucks will make the Eastern Conference Finals if Thon Maker and Jabari Parker can play 30 quality minutes. Bucks aren't going anywhere. Celtics are probably going to finish this game. I mean, this series, maybe 5 games. But the whole with Eric Bledsoe and Terry Rozier name thing was kind of funny. But I don't know if you know about Terry Rozier's background, but he's from it, so I wouldn't really test him if I was anybody else. But like Dre said, all they need is shooting. That's all they've ever needed. They're just a team full of talented wings and don't know how to dribble.
Damn, that's not good.
It's like Jason Kidd was like, everybody is going towards shooting. We're just going to go for length.
Right,
it doesn't
right.
matter if they shoot or not.
We're gonna get every tall person we can.
Every tall person we can get on one team, and then we're gonna okay, Chris Middleton, you're our 3-point shooter. Like they have a team that's built for the '90s and like the early 2000s.
Very true.
But not a team that's built for today's game. Like it was always great to have that 1 3-point shooter when you were playing in the '90s because what were they shooting? Like 10, 15 3-pointers a game. Now you have teams that are taking 40 3-pointers in a game.
Right.
Your best player can't be a guy that refuses to shoot 3-pointers. Giannis refuses to shoot them. I know he shot like 2 or 3 yesterday. And I think I posted it on Twitter a few times. Like he has to be willing to at least take them.
Right.
So he took a couple in the game yesterday. But, I mean, by and large, he refuses to take them. He's scared of the shot.
Right.
He's scared of it.
It's true, and he shouldn't be, and that's definitely something he has to work on off season. Because if he's talking about being that complete player, that MVP kind of, guy, he's got to have that in his arsenal, man. He has to. It's important. Chris, who do you have in this series?
Oh, I got Milwaukee.
Okay,
because and I hear all your points, but my theory is that you had the best player on the floor, you should win the damn series, and that's held up quite a bit more often than not. Giannis is the best player on the floor. He has a complete team that's not hurt for the most part. And I remember when Baker's on the bench a couple of games, I text Dave. I said, "Why is Baker on the bench? That's the coach's fault. He shouldn't have been playing." They won those games because of defense. They were the longest team in the NBA. And they won because of block shots and steals. And you put him on the bench.
Who was playing over Thon Maker, Chris?
And when you play 4 on 5, meaning that Tony Snell doesn't count as a starter.
There he is.
When you play 4 on 5 and you start a lineup, you're going to lose the game. Which is why I blame the coach for that.
Yeah. They don't have a coach.
He should not be starting. Well, hey, Milwaukee should win this series. I'm sorry. They just should win. They should win. So I'm sticking with Milwaukee.
I just don't think they will.
I don't either.
They should win, man, dude.
I don't agree with that either. Boston should win. This should be the series. I thought Boston should win this in at least 5 games.
Really? Wow.
Seriously, Boston should be destroying these guys, man.
You storm Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Seriously, because Milwaukee, for the past 2 years, has underachieved to me, and I haven't seen them do anything this year to change that thought process. Boston has always overachieved, always, since Brad Stevens has been there.
That's true.
You've always seen them.
They definitely got a better coach.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Oh my
God. They have a coach.
Right, exactly. I was about to say that because they actually have a coach. They have a better coach. But Brad Stevens has shown me and made me a believer in what he does because he does so much with so little because of the injuries that he sustained. So just the fact that they're a number 2 seed right here, you know what I'm saying? Even though I know they lost Kyrie late, you know what I'm saying? He was there. Like, it wasn't like Kyrie played every game this year.
No, he was quite often.
Quite often. And they were still winning. And Marcus Smart still hasn't even played yet. And they still it's still up 2-1 in this series. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say this. If Jabari Parker plays like he played and Maker plays, Boston shouldn't win. They just shouldn't. So they just shouldn't win.
I haven't reached the point with Jabari where I'm comfortable with saying he's going to do anything consistently.
Good point. Good point. You don't know. You don't know. I'm on a positive end of it. You on an end of it.
Why we got to be negative?
I mean, it's not. We're not rooting for. We're not rooting for teams, but with Milwaukee, you're saying you have more doubts about, which is understandable. I agree with all your doubts. I agree with them, but I'm more like, okay, I think you get it done. I think
they
somehow
figured it out?
They can figure it out.
You think they figured out?
They're a very long team. I don't know, man. They're too long, man. Timmy block shots. Baker had like 10 block shots.
There's a reason they're the 7th seed, man.
I know, man. But I'm telling you, man, they should be. They
should.
They're better
if we're playing 2K, you probably would win this argument. I promise you. But I don't know. It's something going on the court. Like Chris Middleton, as good as he is, he doesn't scare me.
That's the day.
He don't scare me.
The old Chris Middleton showed up yesterday.
He did. I've always been a fan of Chris Middleton since he bust Jimmy's ass in those playoffs a few years ago. He's busting Jimmy's ass that whole playoffs and talking shit to him. I enjoyed it because I didn't like Jimmy back then either. So that was something I enjoyed. So I'm been a Chris Middleton fan. We
gonna get the Jimmy. Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
My bad.
Patience straight. Patience.
My bad.
Man's round up. I like this. He's on it. All right, let's get to other series here. We got the Sixers and we got the Heat. We got the 3 seed versus the 6. Sixers are up 3-1,
right?
After winning a heated contest today. I mean, there was so many delays for scruffles and rowdy dowls that these dudes was man. It's a tough series going on, but Philly, I mean, it's showcasing what Dub's point is. You got the best player on the floor. You should win the series. Christian, who do you got in this series? Did you have the Heat or did you have the Sixers in this one?
I said the series is going to go 7 games originally, but I didn't. I guess a lot of people underestimated Miami, and I did as well, just a little bit. But it's just something about Embiid coming back, closing up all those driving lanes that Miami can't score the ball anymore. They're not a good shooting team. I mean, that's been shown. I mean, just start from Justin Winslow. That's all the evidence that you really need, to be honest. But
just think of Justin Winslow.
I mean, Philly is just a bunch of Euro shooters that can pop it from anywhere, and then they've got a behemoth in the hole, and they got a 6'10" point guard. Well, you have to decide which section of the team you're going to defend.
Wow. 16. I can't get over that. Like 16. I call him 7 feet. I'm just saying
he's so massive, dude. He does.
Yeah, he's not done. He could potentially still grow, which is the ridiculous part about this. He's not. He's 19 or 20. Did he just turn 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so he could potentially still grow. He grew. What did he grow? Like 3 inches over the first year that he didn't play. This is ridiculous. And he had a triple double tonight, didn't he? Or today? He had a triple double, right?
Yeah, that was just.
I don't care about triple double.
First, that's
too, Chris.
He's the first rookie to have a triple double in the playoffs since 1980, and you know who the last person was.
Oh, we know what that one was. We know what that was.
I said 1980. You know it's Magic.
Also won the title that year playing center.
And had a triple double in that game too. I think at least.
No, I think he was
rebounds. What did he have? 92 rebounds that game. 50 points.
He had 42, 16, and 7.
Look at that. As a rookie.
Unreal.
As a rookie. I never forgot those numbers because I couldn't believe that was true. Yeah, with the pro. And no Kareem.
No Kareem. Kareem was hurt. Didn't he sprain his ankle or something?
Yes,
the game
he was out.
Before?
Yeah. They said Magic came on the plane and said, "Guys, never fear, Magic is here." And they were like, "Who is this dude talking to?" And he showed.
And he went out there and showed and proved.
And then he showed and proved, man. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
agree.
Go ahead.
I agree with Chris. You know, both. I think they got the best 2 players, actually. So, like, what do you do at that point? Because Simmons is better than everybody on the Heat as well. Right. So, what do you do? They really don't have a chance of winning the series. And they maybe have stood a chance when Embiid was out. But after they won that first game, he was like, "Oh, hell no. We're not even about to mess around with this. I'll come back. Right. Get me an Iron Man mask and I'll come out there and play." And he dropped, what do you have, 27-7 in that first game? He came back at 23-7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's protecting the rim. He has made a sign Whiteside basically null and void. He's not even a basketball player in this series. They're gonna win this. They're gonna win. Yeah, they're gonna win tomorrow or the Tuesday, whenever the next time they play. Monday. They're gonna win Monday, and they're gonna have a lot of rest. This series is over.
Yeah. Well, let me mention this: if Deion Waiters, forget Miami has Deion Waiters on the team. They're paying him. He got hurt. If Deion Waiters was playing, would you be saying the same thing?
Yes.
Because Deion Waiters had
Are we talking like Deion Waiters is like some major game?
He was playing his career. He had a great year, but hey, man, early in the year, man, he was the man. When I'm telling you.
I know he was a killer last year. Deion Waiters was a monster last year, and he picked up where he left off. But he wouldn't change anything. Maybe the games would have been a little bit closer, but I still think it's too many Sovas and Itches. And there's too many old guys on their team. There's too many European dudes that can shoot threes and white dudes that can shoot threes. It's like Bellinelli is the ultimate irrational confidence dude. There's too many irrational confidence threes going up and going in. for Deion Waiters, because Deion Waiters is an irrational confidence guy, but he can't overcome Bellinelli's irrational confidence, and Ilyasova and Saric, and then JJ Redick just throwing up 3-pointers. It's too much. There's too much shooting.
Oh, that's my man Deion Waiters, man. He was the man.
I don't know. No, he's right. Bellinelli is the guy I go to the club with.
Oh, no. First of all,
because Bellinelli is the dude who's gonna pull all the baddest chicks because he believes to have that.
Listen. We know Bellinelli in Chicago. This man was Scottie Pippen in Chicago.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Unbelievable when he was here. So.
He won playoff games. He was like,
he did.
He was like, this is hard. I don't want to do this again. Like, trade me.
I just get to stand back and shoot on this time, bro. But yeah, I agree. I think Philly, it's over.
Yeah.
The series is over. Philly's gonna win this, so
they should win.
It's a wrap. It's a WRAP.
I know. Maybe
LeBron
can send D Wade some of that package. LeBron takes.
let's get
all year round.
Before I get into LeBron, let's talk quickly about this Raptors Wizards series. And that's the series I'm talking about. It was the most boring series. Yeah, real quick. We make it quick. Raptors up 2-1. You know what I mean? And the Wizards. Quickly, who y'all think is winning the series?
I don't know, but the fans lose.
Damn. Christian?
The Raptors? Chris is on mute. The Raptors.
The Raptors should win.
Raptors should win.
I still have no faith in them somehow, some way.
No, you're saying you're not saying you have faith in the Wizard. You're saying you have no faith in the Raptors.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying, sir. You're not talking about
the Raptors,
anything.
The Raptors are going to barely win. They're going to barely win. They're going to be like, wow, is it 7 games? It was this hard?
7? I don't know. I don't believe it. I cannot believe the Raptors will take 6 to 7 games to take out the Washington Wizards.
Hey man, this is the
they don't even like each other.
They do not. They don't like.
Did
you see the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil they did on the sideline?
Yep.
When Gortat and Wall were arguing.
Bradley Beal
had his face in the towel sitting next to him like, I can't take this.
I can't believe it.
Mom and Dad, why don't you stop fighting? Yo, man, he was hurt. He looked like a hurt child, man. You got to be kidding me, man. No, this series should be over. The Raptors should win this next game and the game after that.
Okay, if they do not win this next game, then it is definitely going 7.
Yeah.
It's Toronto.
And like you said, fans lose if that happens. God. Nobody wants to see this series go 7 games.
Nobody wants to watch Kyle Lowry play basketball more than
nobody want to watch Biscuit playing basketball.
The human Twinkie.
That's my man Biscuit because he a biscuit away.
Hey man, he worked real hard to get into the shape that he's in right now.
He did.
Give him some credit.
He did. That's why he a biscuit away. He worked real hard. He's that one KFC and Popeyes biscuit away from it going bad, brother. From it going all bad.
They got him on watch at nighttime.
Right.
Kyle Lowry in his room.
They got his face at the drive-thru. Like, do not feed this raptor. Do not feed this raptor here. Because he's going to wind up in a dark room in a Motel 8 like, don't look at me. I'm hitting you.
Y'all are wrong, man. Y'all are wrong.
Wow. But yeah, I believe we all have the Raptors in this one. So, okay, yes. Yeah. Let's get to the best series. Let's get to the main one we all talking about here, the Cavs and the Pacers. Dub, I have to give Dub credit every single time because Dub is the one who always talked to me about the Pacers. He kept telling me how good they were. He kept telling me how just awesome they were to watch. He would say, man, this is like watching a team in the 90s. He said they don't shoot a ton of threes. They don't score over 100 points. and these guys just know how to play, and they play the game the right way. And he was always on me about how good the Pacers were. So I'm gonna start with you, Dub, man. They're up 2-1 in this series. Mm-hmm. Are you surprised at it, or was this expected for you?
Oh no, I think they're gonna lose because LeBron James is better. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Oladipo, man, this year I have lead pass and I watched him plenty of times. He has had great games. 4 quarters, he took over the game like superstar. Let's go in the game. I'm dropping 8 points in a row. We're going home. Crazy shots to the hoop. He's not always shooting 3. He's shooting a lot of threes in the playoffs, of course, because defense is a little different. But But yeah, I'm not surprised they're competing against LeBron. They on paper have a better team, but we've seen this before. We've seen Michael Jordan with teams. The other team on paper had a better team.
Yeah.
But then they had that dude.
Yeah,
LeBron's that dude. And I still, even though somehow, some way, Cleveland should not win. Because Cleveland does not have a deeper team than Indiana.
No,
But
they should win because they got LeBron. They should win.
It is LeBron James, and you go, okay, oh, that's right, they got LeBron James. That's what he won. So even though they're playing well, the only way they could beat LeBron if Oladipo realized he has to drop 35 points a game.
I think
if he just goes crazy.
Knows that. I think he knows that.
He didn't play that way last game though.
Wasn't he in foul trouble? No, it was a lot of turnovers because
that was game 2.
It was a lot of turnovers that last game.
Yes,
because they started trapping him. But once he realized, if I just go quick, then we can get any shot we want. And then he just started going quick against the trap. And Cleveland, because they're stupid, kept trapping him. And he just kept finding dudes open for layups and 3-pointers and dunks. It was like that's just what it was. But they beat them 3 out of the 4 games this year anyway.
Yeah.
So everybody who thought that they were going to come into the series like, oh, LeBron is just going to take over. Yeah, LeBron did the takeover thing. Mm-hmm. And they only won by 3.
Yeah. And David and I talked all year long before the series started. It was like, hey, for LeBron to win in the first round, even against Indiana, he has to have 40-point games.
Yeah. LeBron, listen, this is what's pissing me off about LeBron. One of the few things. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, you're watching these games and you're saying nobody on that team can stop you. We watched you bully them into the hole. Every time he comes into the hole, he does one move. He backs you in, he spins, and he lays it up every single time. And for some reason in game 3, he was like, well, I guess I ain't got to do that today because my teammates are doing No. That's not what greats do. You should know you have to average 40 points a game. When he has games, and I yelled about this all season, when he has games of 28, 13, and 11, yeah, that's nice. That's dope. But I need 44, 12, and 6. That's what I need.
He's still just a human, man. Like, he's tired.
No. You know why I judge him like this? Because people are always want to put him up as the greatest ever. If you're coming to me like this dude is the man, Dre, if you're coming to me like he's the man, I know he's not Dre. But I'm saying, if you're coming to me like he's the man, like this dude belongs in a conversation with the greatest of all time, like this dude belongs on a Mount Rushmore, then you need to do these things. I'm not going to judge him like I would a regular basketball player. I'm going to judge him like I would somebody who should be one of the greatest. You know what, though?
I think the issue with that is you're judging him against psychosis. You're judging him against a completely insane person. He's not insane.
No, Dre.
Do you think he can score 40 points a game?
That's the point.
Do I think he can?
Yes.
Probably now.
Just say yes. Just say yes. Just say
at year 15. I don't know anymore because did you see
in year 10?
This is 15. Though. Year 10.
It didn't matter what year.
It
didn't matter year 15.
Yeah. I'm just talking about this year right now. No, I don't. You want to know why I don't think
it's the playoffs.
You want to know why I don't think he can? Because in the biggest play of that goddamn game, what was LeBron James doing? He was walking up the court while they were hitting the 3. He was tired.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think he can average. Because that's why I don't think he can average 40 points every game. You can see it. He's tired.
No, if you're telling me he can't average 40 a game, that means he shouldn't even be scoring 46. The man scored 46 with ease.
He did.
Who outscored on last game? Who outscored on last game?
Dre, you cannot be outscored by Bogdanovich.
I understand.
You can't be outscored by a Russian coming in here.
Hey, look, I am the hardest person when it comes to LeBron because I don't necessarily like him. But this team is whack. He's carried them the entire year. It's year 15. He has every right in the world to be tired. And even with that being said, he's still going to win this series.
It's not about being tired. It's not about being tired. It's about not wanting to shoot the ball. He's still on the court, passing the ball. He's not shooting the ball.
Yeah, but
He was he too tired in that fourth quarter to hit those threes to bring them back within the game? Was he too tired for that?
He looked tired.
No, he wasn't.
He looked tired in that one because every time he got the switch, the same thing you were saying he would do, he'd go to the basket,
these are the
and lay the
things.
ball up. He just shooting the three.
Trey, these are the things that make you great. These are the moments right here that we talking about. I'm like, man, LeBron was dead tired. LeBron was tired.
He was dead tired. And you know what he did? He
but then if I could
pointers to get them back within one.
But that's my point. If I could add that on top of that, if I could say on top of the fact LeBron was tired and he still scored 44 points on somebody and won a game, that adds to your greatness. I think we're talking about greatness.
You're talking about Michael Jordan type greatness, and he's
I'm just talking about greatest to ever do it greatness.
Yeah, that's Michael Jordan.
That's LeBron too.
But that's LeBron.
That's not.
No,
LeBron.
it's not
LeBron.
That's
never been LeBron.
LeBron ain't in no top 3 or nothing. Is that what we saying?
I got LeBron out of my top 5.
Glad he made top 10.
LeBron is definitely top 10.
That's a whole other show, brother.
He's definitely top 10. We've talked about this. I told y'all my top 5. He's not in my top 5.
No, I remember that. But Christian, damn.
I got him at 8.
At 8? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I got him before Kobe.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kobe rocking that number 9.
But yeah. But I'm sorry, Jay. I can't hold him to any other kind of standard.
I can't
hold him to any kind of regular standard.
But like Dre, how many times has LeBron come out in the third quarter, took over the third quarter?
He does it quite often.
That's
the problem. He has to do that quite often.
He doesn't. No, that's the third quarter. Third quarter, I rarely see him take over. I see in games where he don't take shots in the third quarter. He takes third quarter off.
The thing with LeBron is he does not have to take over a game by scoring. He's still drawing all these double teams, getting all these other idiots. But it can't just. If I'm a coach, I want LeBron to score. Please, LeBron, score.
But he doesn't want to.
Take as many shots as you want.
He cannot have to do score. What's the name again?
Outscore him.
He should outscore.
Man, that's the thing about LeBron in his scoring. He doesn't have to score 50 points to win.
He did to win the game.
Some games, that's some games though. Some games he does. LeBron is the most serviceable athlete I have ever seen. You need him to score 50 to win, he'll score 50 to win. You want to get other teammates involved, he'll get 17 assists. I mean, like no one has ever been able to do this before.
So he has to have 30, dude. I'm sorry. He had 30. It
wasn't like he wasn't trying to score at the end of that game. He took every 3-pointer at the end of that game to try to get them there winning. I mean,
he doesn't shoot. He has to score 30 to win. That's the point. He has to realize this. If he wants to win, beat Indiana. He can't score 25 points.
Yeah.
He gets to that point.
He can't score under 30.
He probably has gotten to that point. He understands it now, but
no, he don't.
I think he did. You're going to see LeBron come out the same way he came out in the 46-point game. He's going to do it again, where he scores a bunch of points and they win the game, and then they're going to probably win the next game, and then it's going to be over. Like, this is what we do. We do this every year with LeBron, man.
Oh no, I don't doubt him for winning. I doubt him for like this. Get it over with, man. It's like get it. In watching the game, I'm like, dude, shoot it. Like they need you to score. Yeah, they don't need you to be all nice and pass the ball to the corner all the time.
And that's the thing for me, Dre. Like I know it's his 15th year, and I know he gets tired. And I understand all that.
He gets credit for it. You got to get the blame for
it. Come on.
Look, like I said, I said earlier, I am as critical of him as anybody you will see. But that game in particular, I don't necessarily blame him for that. They were winning a certain way, and he tried to start coming on later on in that game to win it. And it didn't work because he missed that final three. And then I think Kevin Love ended up getting the rebound and hitting a three or whatever it was.
Hitting that three, yes.
Yeah. Yes. But he was taking all of the shots. He was taking the shots that they needed to get back.
Taking the threes.
Yeah, because he was taking those threes.
Because he didn't shoot early in the game.
Go to the buck. Nobody it bothers me, Dre, because nobody on the court can stop him. Even in his 15th seat, nobody can stop him, and he knows it.
The only thing
so if nobody can stop you, but that's my point.
And his body being tired, that stops him.
But
Even in year 15,
if nobody can stop you, why
LeBron,
are you stopping yourself?
Even with it being LeBron is like the Terminator. Even though he's the Terminator, he's still just human. It's like he's human. And sometimes he's not going to, like, that was the thing with Michael.
He's not my kind of human.
I don't think when Michael was playing basketball, I don't think he was human. I don't know what the fuck Michael Jordan was when he was on the court.
He was a serial killer.
He was something completely different on a basketball court.
Yes.
LeBron is still just a human. And it comes across too often in the games that he played for me to even hold him to that standard. For me personally, this is how I do it.
Okay.
I've always said this. It is the greatest compliment you can give any basketball player is to compare them to Michael Jordan. And the greatest slap in the face to Michael Jordan that you could give him is to compare anybody else to him. Nobody is him. Nobody is him. He was something else. Right. And that's why, like, for me, when people try to compare these other guys to him, and it's like we're old enough to have seen him play, it's like, no, nobody's like him. Michael Jordan was out of his mind. He was a lunatic. He was completely crazy. It didn't matter if he was tired, if he was sick. None of that shit mattered. He's Jordan. That ain't LeBron.
When you call yourself the king.
Hey man, look, you ain't got to tell me. I'm with you.
When you wear shoes that says I'm king.
Hold on.
When you have chosen one across your back.
Hold on.
You're gonna get judged like this. I'm not judging you like a human because most humans don't become king.
He ain't king. Jordan is.
Then what his shoes tell me?
I don't give a damn what his shoes tell me.
His shoes saying I'm king.
He shouldn't have put him on there. I'm with you. LeBron needs to score. I'm with you. You know what? I was just trying to play the devil advocate role because I don't care for LeBron. Not because of LeBron, but because of the comparisons. I don't care for anybody that's compared to Jordan. I don't, that stuff to me, after I've watched basketball for the last 30 years of my life, people comparing themselves or being compared to him, once I start breaking down your game, like I was critical of LeBron earlier in his career. I've reached the point in his career where I'm no longer as critical anymore. Because at first I was judging him based upon the ghost of Michael Jordan because he's always talking about he's chasing that ghost. I don't judge him based on that because he ain't that. Because ain't nobody going to be that. Period.
If you're chasing a ghost, then you got to be better.
I agree. He needs to be better.
Average. You can't be average. You got to be better.
Forget them triple doubles, LeBron. Score 50.
Score 50, LeBron, because you can. Nobody on that team can stop you because you can.
Well, he's going to take that package. He's going to inject himself, and he's going to come back.
Take that quick flight to Germany.
Germany? He's going to Miami, baby. He's going right back to Miami. D-Wade had it in game 2 or 3 or whatever game that was. And
so let me Dub, you got the
I can't go against LeBron.
Okay, you got the cat. Christian, who you got win this series?
I think he got kicked out of the party.
Oh, Dre, who you got winning?
Cleveland
winning.
Do you understand how crazy it would be if LeBron lost in the first round?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
And he needs to be concerned.
Do you got Cleveland? You got it.
I got the Pacers.
You got Pacers?
I got the Pacers.
At the end of the day. Old people have to outplay LeBron.
Yeah, because Chris, at the beginning of the year, Dre, when the year started, I said this is the first year I felt like LeBron wasn't getting out of the East. I thought Boston was going to take him down, so I can't go against what I said. So I'm gonna go with the. I didn't see him lose. I don't see him losing the first round, but the fact that is this difficult, and the fact that he don't realize what he has to do yet for them to get out is. Hard for me picking these Pacers, man. And the fact you get outscored by Bogdanovich.
Man, did you see the stuff he was doing in that game, though, man? Bogdanovich turned into Marco Bellinelli
for 28 points.
I'm just going to throw up anything.
Oh, and it was 7 of 9. He was 7 of 9 from the 3-point line.
Threes.
He was on fire.
Driving to the basket like he was LeBron.
And he was defending LeBron on top of that.
Yeah.
He was the man sticking him, man. And still driving. That's a problem.
No way, but has LeBron committed a foul this series? I still have not seen him commit a foul.
He's not calling no fouls on the King.
Or double dribbles.
Or double dribbles.
Does he foul anybody at all? I'm like, Just walks around the court, doesn't guard anybody. I don't know what he's doing. He's not guarding anybody or something.
They got to get it together. I mean, he bought matching suits for game 3.
Oh my God, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Was that him telling
LeBron bought the suits for the team?
Yeah,
and everybody came in with matching suits and they lost. So that's not a good investment, I don't think, on his part. But they got another game. It's gonna be a heck of a game tomorrow.
Maybe I think this is a must play a little bit.
Oh, come on! Why isn't he playing? I don't understand. It's a must-win game for both teams, honestly. Because I don't think Cleveland. If Cleveland wins this game, I don't think they'll lose this.
No, but if they lose this game, they're not coming back.
If they lose this game, is come on. He got to come. He got to muster up all that LeBron energy that he's been trying to save for rounds 2 and 3. Yeah. He got to muster it up to win the first round series. Oh, that's not good.
I think they're saying that George Hill might. I think he's doubtful for
the. They can't afford to lose players.
Wow. He was playing
because they're not playing Tristan Kardashian. Yeah,
he's playing well in that game until his back started hurting. And then,
remember he got hit on that play and his back was like
spasm.
Yeah,
you got the Scottie Pippen special.
The Scotty package. The Scotty got pulled back on the dunk in game 6, but I still impact the game.
I'm still picking LeBron until somebody beat him. I can't pick against him.
I can't go against any.
I agree. I just he frustrates me. That's all.
Okay, let's go to the West. We're in the West. Let's start with an easy one. The Warriors and the Spurs.
Spurs.
You don't believe
Go
that?
Pop. No, I'm just a little Pop support.
Yeah, yes, definitely support the Pop. Absolutely, man. But Warriors though.
Yeah, Warriors.
Warriors. We got okay.
I watched the first game. That's it. I haven't peeked at the other game.
Yeah, I didn't even watch game 3.
I watched game 3. I wanted to see how the Spurs players came out and played in that game more than any of the other games. And since they lost, I was like, if they're going to win any game, they win that game. Since they didn't, they're going to get swept.
Is Klay Thompson back on track, man? He's been off, man. He's not the Klay Thompson I know. Is he back on track?
No, he's shooting like 70% in this series.
Yes. Klay Thompson. Why would y'all take Klay Thompson over Jimmy Butler? That's crazy.
Because he averaged 40 against the Pelicans.
That's why. That's why. Because he balled out in the playoffs. That's why. All right. Let's get Blazers and Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Got the Pelicans.
Rondo!
Okay. Playoff Rondo doing his thing. Playoff Rondo. It's been a scrappy game. Me and Chris are looking at it now. It's been a scrappy game, man.
Oh, yeah, Rondo's face. Oh, no. Ooh.
Rondo just headbutt a dude.
Man, that's a tech.
It's because he's short and the dude is tall, it didn't look like a headbutt. So
he ran into his head.
He's a little intelligent with how he did it. But he sure hit him with the top of the head, let him know. Like, man, DeMarcus Cousins look like nephew Tommy out here. Look like Tommy, man. He ain't got no job, man.
Get the logo glasses on.
Yeah, but Pelicans. I don't see how you pick against Pelicans.
Yeah, and I also want the Pelicans to win because, like, when they play Golden State, they play their asses off against Golden State. And Klay Thompson averaged like 40, and like they tried and they lost. I'm like, man, they played well, and I want them to win. Anthony Davis. I want him to get out the first round, so I got the Pelicans.
Pelicans. We got the Pelicans. Thunder and Jazz.
Man, I
don't know. Yeah, this is a tough one right here. It
playoff team made an appearance for one game.
The last dime,
and then he went back into hibernation. I don't know, man.
He was out of here after that. He was like, "All right, fellas, y'all take care."
Yeah, I don't give dudes.
God bless and good night.
Who thinks shooting all these threes is like making special or something? Like, shooting threes is so special. Why don't you average 30 points a game? Like, seriously, like I hate that. Anyway, that's another conversation. But yeah,
fair point.
OKC should win, Dave. They should win.
They should
win.
They should.
It should win.
It should be an easy win.
But will they? Because I don't know who the best player in that series is right now. Like I know,
supposed to be Russ.
I know Russ is going to put up better numbers than Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell is controlling the game better than Russ.
Yeah, that's not a lie. Especially in game 3. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, and especially in the fourth quarter.
I fell asleep. I was so mad. I'm on the couch. I passed out. And I woke up,
bro.
I woke up, and I heard he took over the game. Like, oh my God.
He took over the game, and OKC, the big 3, they couldn't buy a basket. I believe they were 0 for 14. Yeah, wow. They couldn't buy a basket, man. It was shocking. It was like, really, this is what we're gonna do in the playoffs, and the shots they were taking,
1-on-1 shots.
It was ridiculous ones, like the kickouts to Carmelo for the three. Like they did a lot of those. Like that's not what he do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't kick it out for a setup three. He ain't Steve Kerr. He ain't Kyle Korver. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how he rolled. But it was shocking watching them, man. Steven Adams was, being Steven Adams, doing what he do. But man, dude, they were tough, bro. They were just not good. And like Dre say, man, like it's a toss up.
Okay.
Who's gonna win the series?
As big a toss up as any other series.
Yeah,
that
I'm still gonna. It shouldn't. I'm still gonna stay with OKC because I just believe in Russell Westbrook's insanity. I know you guys have been tough on old Russ. You guys been a little hard on him there, Dre.
I went hard on him, huh?
Was that you guys being hard on him? Because I know just his crew was hard on him.
That was just.
I know just boy when he called him.
Have been. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say when my man called him the empty calories. When he called him the Popeyes 2-piece, yo.
Nothing wrong with Popeyes 2-piece, man. The breast and the wings. Come on, man.
That was one of the most brilliant things I heard in a minute. He called him the Popeyes 2-piece.
Yeah, I'm not hard on him.
Okay,
okay. I love what Russ does to a point, but I mean, if playoff P ain't gonna show up and Melo cooked, it ain't much he could do.
Ain't much you could do, man. Ain't much you do. So Drake got as a toss up. What you got?
I have to go OKC, man.
OKC, okay. I'm going OKC. I'm gonna say OKC in 7. I'm gonna say that. Okay. I'm gonna say OKC in 7 because I like the Jazz. I like their coach. Their coach looks like a former meth dealer.
He's a lawyer, actually.
Oh, is he? See, that makes sense. Yeah. Then I know he on coke.
Okay. I can't mess with their coach, man. I'm on the line. I'm in the line product, and we had the battle between us and the jury. So I can't rock with Quinn Snyder, even though I did pick him to be my coach of the year this year.
Yes,
I did do that.
Okay, that's when I first saw Quinn Snyder because I'm an Illini fan. That's my team.
Yeah.
But that's when I first saw Quinn Snyder when he would get into that coaching, that hair would fall up over his eye.
God, his greasy hair.
Yeah.
Dude, just look like he stinks. That greasy hair there.
He looked like he makes some good Italian sausage. I don't know why. If I saw him in the deli,
cutting the garlic up with a razor blade,
right?
So it disintegrates in the oil.
When he locked up, you stupid, man. You stupid. You man with Goodfellas on me, man. You stupid. He slicing it razor thin.
Razor thin.
So it melts as soon as it hits the sauce. It melts. Yo, man. All right. Let's get to the final series in the West. We got the Rockets and the Timberwolves.
D-Rose!
Dre, I will let you have the floor and start on this one, man.
No, I don't have anything bad to say. I think the one thing that pisses me off, though, is that it's a lot of criticism for Derrick Rose right now. And he's playing well. It's not his fault that Karl Anthony Towns is off his baby shit. That's not his fault. It's not his fault that Jimmy is hurt and won't shoot.
I'm tired of that. No.
Can't have that excuse.
No,
can't have it.
Every year.
Nope.
Every year. I was gonna let you talk, man, but
we're gonna let you have the floor, but you can't.
No, but you know what? I agree. Jimmy should. If you playing, you playing.
Every year with this dude. I don't care what year it is in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler got 8 injuries he's dealing with. I'm tired of it. He's the only player when the playoffs come. He has the biggest excuse built in.
What was these injuries in that 82nd game against Denver when he dropped 30 on him? Was he injured then?
I don't know.
Did he feel real good? Was he feeling good? He looked like he was feeling good to me.
The adrenaline was pumping. Hey man,
is that what it is?
Hey man, screw
adrenaline is off in the playoffs.
Screw Jimmy. I'm all for the screw Jimmy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do know this.
They blaming Derrick Rose for taking the shots that are there and actually hitting half of them and scoring more points in less minutes than their all-star big man. Like he's not supposed. Like I don't know what they expect him to do. What is he supposed to do? Not take those shots?
Right.
I'm sick of
that.
I'm sick of that. I think Karl Anthony Towns, his biggest problem right now is he is weak He's weak. And I was talking to somebody in a thread. I don't even remember who the hell I was talking about. See, you saying some dumb shit about James Harden, like cats can't push James Harden down in the post because they got stocky shooting guards and small forwards or some dumb crap. Like, well, you don't get the hell out of here with that dumb shit. He is a center in the NBA. Yes. If you cannot post up James Harden, that is a fundamental flaw in your game as a center.
Yes.
You should not get pushed off the block by James Harden. Maybe PJ Tucker, because he's thick as hell.
He's stocky.
He's stocky. Not James Harden. Not Trevor Ariza. Not Chris Paul. Telling me this garbage about these dudes being big and stocky guards. Get the hell out of here. Karl Anthony Towns is weak. And on top of that, he does not play defense. Those are two terrible combinations for a starting center in the league. When they get a switch on a small, he should score 7 out of 10 times and stop them from switching. Instead, he's rolling into the corner because he's not big enough or strong enough to post a small dude as a big man. That is a problem. That's not Derrick Rose's fault. It's not Derrick Rose's fault that Jimmy Butler is a bitch and don't want to shoot. Like you said, he does this every playoffs. We've been in the playoffs with Jimmy Butler. We saw what happened last year when Rondo went down. What did Jimmy Butler do?
Out of here.
Went home.
He checked out. And there wasn't no injuries last year. He wasn't hurt last year.
His knee was hurting.
There wasn't no injuries last year.
His knee was hurting.
Remember well that? When Rondo was out there, Jimmy was playing well.
He's not looking right.
When Rondo got hurt, Jimmy didn't show up anymore. This third game right here, that's tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the telltale sign right there. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, it's not.
Wiggins is the only starting perimeter player, starting of that big three that's actually playing well. And he's the one that gets the most criticism.
Yes, he is.
Even though he ain't playing no damn defense either.
No, he's not.
But as far as offense, man.
Go ahead, Drake. Go ahead.
Man, screw them dudes, man. Rose keep shooting, man. I'm so boy, you don't understand how heated I was when I was reading the crap on Twitter. I don't remember who it was, and it may have been Just Blaze talking about you can't just post them up one-on-one when you get the switch on the small. Why not?
Look. We grew up. We are spoiled because we grew up watching Charles Barkley. Was Charles Barkley and Chat call you out on a whole segment? And we know, and we watched this in the 90s. If Charles Barkley got switched on the big dude, it was over. Barbecue chicken, dude. It was over. Give me the ball. I'm getting fouled, and we're going to the line. I'm shooting two. I'm dunking you.
It's true.
It should be simple. We've seen it before. I don't know why it's not happening so much in the NBA this year. Small and go on you. There's no damn reason in the world.
Everybody want to shoot threes.
And once again, if three's so big, why don't you average more points in the game? Why don't you average more points? Is it so great to shoot threes?
His ass out there missing them too.
Yeah. Let me say, watch it because I've watched both of these games closely. Because I got a good look at Tibbs here. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I was seeing. I know what I was looking at. The half-court offense that they're running.
What half-court offense?
Atrocious.
For 3 years, Charles Barkley and Shaq always say they don't call him out, but they always say, "Why don't they run him more?" Yeah, calling him out every year. And watching that offense, because their half-court offense here with the Bulls is different because you had Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was easy to mask. And you had not even just Derrick, you had Joakim Noah. So it was easy to mask those things because Noah would get that ball free throw line extended and run the offense from there.
Right.
So it was easy to mask that. It was easy to hide it. There's no one on this team that can run an offense in the half court. No one. Because Tibbs don't have no plays. Playing against the Rockets, there was so many people on Twitter who were thinking that the Timberwolves had a shot. They were like, "Oh, these guys got a shot against these Rockets. I mean, they can go." I called a sweep when I found out they were the AC when we were sitting at the bar, Chris. When I was like, "Oh, they're getting swept." There's no way they're going to beat this team because the Rockets are going to run them up and down the court and be better. There's nobody they have that is better than James Harden. Period.
No, but Jeff Teague was talking about that at shoot around either today or yesterday.
Okay.
He was saying the problem is we're not running. He's like, we are slowing down the game and it's playing directly into their hands. He's like, we tried the defense thing. He's like, maybe what we need to do,
thing.
Like, we need to try to score now because like we have guys that can score, but we're not trying because we're slowing the ball down.
Oh, that's all coach. You know, Tibbs ain't hearing none of
wants
that.
to control everything on the court.
Every aspect.
And it's even on TV, they say they're scared to do anything because they don't look at the coach. They're scared of the coach.
Right.
Like
it don't matter what you tell him. You can tell him you're tired. You can tell him we need to run this. He believes his way is the way. And he's going to always believe that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to stop being who he is. That's just who Tibbs is, man.
Even the announcers on TV for years before the playoffs will always say, well, they're running more. They can't run. They can't play half court against the Rockets.
Right.
They got to run.
Right.
Kim McHale called out the first game. He said they shouldn't play half court. They need to run the Rockets.
I watched you brought up Barkley, and we sat there and we watched Barkley say this is the dumbest team. Like he was like, this team is dumb.
That was game one.
Like game one. He's like, these dudes are dumb. Like, how does Karl Anthony Towns only have 9 shots in both games?
He didn't switch all the time.
Both games. Why is Derrick Rose outscoring Jimmy Butler in 2 games? Off the bench. Why is he taking more shots in less minutes than Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler's supposed to be this dude. He's supposed to be that guy.
But Dave, he has an injury.
That's not Jimmy's fault. That's Jimmy's fault.
He has a knee injury, Dave. He's always hurting the playoffs. He's performance.
Sorry, poor Jimmy. Sorry. Jimmy hurt.
Poor Jimmy always hurt during the playoffs.
I know. This is why I said after All-Star game, so I can be ready for the playoffs.
But you see the temperature race, Dave?
Oh, not the tape. Not the tape. The tape. Oh, no.
He's such a great player. He just wasn't injured.
That's what it was.
Because hurt now.
That's what it was. Nobody's hurt. Nobody on Houston is hurt.
hurt.
Nobody's hurt on Houston. Everybody's just 100%.
7%.
Everybody on that squad. Oh, and it's not just Jimmy Butler fault. Everybody on the Timberwolves has to be healthy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Has to be. 100%, right? Yeah. That's how it has to go. Yeah. This dude was starting putting Tyus Jones in over Derrick Rose last game. Tyus Jones, bro. Tyus Jones. You watched Dre, you saw what Derrick Rose did in game 1. You saw how he scored.
Yeah, he played well.
Yes. You would think in game 2, okay, let me continue with what we were doing. No, not Tibbs. Tibbs said, no, I'm going to go ahead and put Tyus Jones in first.
He heard all of the conversation about Rose taking more shots than Towns and Jimmy. Like, we're not gonna
put him on the bench. And put him on the bench. Put him on the bench. Said, no, we're going to put Tyus Jones in more. And and another reason, see, I'm going to bring this up also, and I'm not comparing Jimmy Butler to LeBron by any stretch of the imagination. But in my head, it's the same kind of mindset of a dude who says, yo, I want to be the man. Mm-hmm. This is what I want. I want to be the go-to guy. I want the ball at the end of the game. I'm supposed to be that dude. But if you want to be that dude, then that's how I'm going to judge you, as that dude. And guess what? You are who I thought you were. Shout out Dennis Green.
We knew Jimmy Butler was trash. Like, we all knew that.
Yeah. We knew he was who we thought, but I don't think people knew. I don't think they knew, Dre.
That's another thing. I said it earlier about players not knowing how good they are. Like, that goes both ways. Like, for young players, they don't know how good they can be. For a guy like Jimmy, he needs to know how good he is. Yeah. You are not one of those upper echelon star players in the league. And all of the people, we know the Bulls bloggers, and y'all know who they are. Who love Jimmy. They think Jimmy is better than he actually is too.
Yep, they do.
This is a great reminder that he is not as good as you think he is. Mm-mm. Jimmy Butler is a good second fiddle.
Yes. And
every team he's played on since he's been good, he's the number one. And that is the problem.
Come on and say that. If Jimmy's your number 2, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Soft. Yeah. Baby. Soft as baby.
SAWFT.
Soft. That's a wrestling reference, Chris. Just to let you know what he just did right there.
Put in my pocket. Remember
that. So we all have Houston in the sweep because I have them in the sweep.
I don't want to sweep them. I got them winning the series.
You don't think it's a sweep?
I don't think it's a sweep.
I think if the Timberwolves
game tonight, it's over.
Yeah, if Timberwolves win one game, they should feel great.
What's funny is that Houston has yet to get hot from the field.
Houston's not even playing great.
That first game, and then we hit the threes the first game, it went over the first quarter.
Yeah.
Over. So it could be sweet, but they got hot.
You should have saw those tweets from game 2 in the first quarter. Oh, them Jimmy Butler Timberwolves fans was out. They were like, oh, man, look at the team. They come in ready tonight. They're not going to let these guys do it. And I'm looking like, really? Do y'all watch basketball? Do you watch it?
How often I see all these tweets from Bulls bloggers, oh, Jimmy Butler is just so awesome in the regular season. Yeah, let's get to them playoffs.
Yeah, playoff Jimmy. Give me playoff Jimmy. What's playoff Jimmy?
That's why I love the playoffs, because it shows you how great you are. Damian Lillard and McCullum, great guys. I love you guys. But yo,
go ahead, Drake. Go ahead, man.
A Western Conference GM said about 3 weeks ago, he kept it anonymous though. He said that if you switch Steph Curry with Damian Lillard, the Warriors wouldn't miss a beat. I wonder if he still feels the same way right now.
Wow. Steph with Damian Lillard.
Yes.
The only unanimous MVP.
Stop. I agree with him. But guess what? Portland will win more games. Portland will win more games.
No.
Portland,
the Warriors
will be better.
Drake said back up.
The Warriors wouldn't miss a beat.
The Warriors have a great team. They can still win with Damian Lillard. What I'm saying, I'm not saying Curry doesn't matter.
70 wins with Dame.
I don't know if you win 70 games, but you can win a championship with him at the start. I think you can. It won't be the same. He got as good as Curry.
Hold on. So you saying that if you took before KD got there, and you put Damian Lillard on
No.
Yeah, they missing a beat. Yeah, they missing a beat. They missing a couple beats.
Does he MVP?
I mean, they like Elaine dancing, missing the beat. They're like that. They're missing a beat.
Yeah, MVP Curry, no.
You're missing a beat. No, I agree with you, Trey, because if you got a guy who's a unanimous MVP against a guy who's arguing to get into an All-Star game, you're missing a beat.
Dame. I love Dame.
Yeah.
But Steph is one of the best basketball players we've seen.
Ever.
That's why I love the playoffs. The playoffs has showed you who great. Like Nico, man. Nico could have a bad season. I don't care what he did in the season. But if Nico shows out in the playoffs and plays well in the playoffs, that's all you're going to remember. I don't care what he does in the season. Nico, man, ball in the playoffs, dog.
He cut the Jerusalem beard off and got free.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, I called him Larry Bird that game, man. He was like killing
Jerusalem
beard. He couldn't do no wrong.
Yo, man. He couldn't. He great, but he played great. I'm sorry. He played great. But they decided to defend him this game, and it's a little different.
You adjust.
But it's a little different. All right, man.
I think that's 58 points in this half.
And still, both of them scored 58 points. So it's a good game. We're going to continue watching this game. We're going to wrap this show up. Dre, please let the people know where they can check you out at. Dre?
I'm sorry. You were breaking up. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I was saying just let the people know where they can check you out at.
According to Sources is the website. According to Sources is the podcast. ETMF Podcast Network is where you can find me as well whenever we decide to do another one of those podcasts. It's few and far between these days. Games we don't play on that podcast as well. And me, Chris, and Baylor are going to start doing the podcast. I think this is like but it's not about sports or anything. It's like a man's mental health.
I want in. I'm telling you right now. I want in.
Yeah, like there's a lot of podcasts that help women out with like their day-to-day life and things of that nature, and like just how to deal with being. And there's not a lot of that for men, and a lot of it comes from the perspective of people trying to tell men how they're doing such and such wrong.
Especially black men.
Especially black men, and how we need to do better by this. Well, we just want to do a podcast about that, how to be as a black man, and it doesn't have to be about sports or something like that. Where it's just like a regular conversation, and me and Baylor being 35 and Chris being 12. We offer different perspectives on life at this point. So yeah, we'll be doing that. We're locking down the particulars of that podcast, and then you can find us doing that pretty soon.
All right, and we also here, but we have, since you're saying that, we have new podcasts coming. Also, here it will be this first time we're gonna say this. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Then it will be a music oriented podcast. Myself will be playing music because I'm a music junkie, fiend, crackhead,
J. Cole,
addict. Cole will find his way on there. Absolutely, Cole. Yeah, Cole made the first show.
Okay,
nice,
actually,
nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a fiend. I'm a crackhead about music, and we'll be doing a new show called Ball on Beats. Nice. And it would deal strictly with music. I like all kinds of music, and this will be the first endeavor of my life. I don't mean just a podcast, but the first one of my life where I've been completely selfish.
Yeah,
and it would just be what I want to hear.
Well, back up, really?
Yeah, seriously. No, I'm dead serious.
We'll talk after the show about that.
What about that, Chris? He's joking.
I'm joking.
He knows. He knows. I'm saying, like, what you mean? Everything I do, I have to cater. Which I don't mind doing. But this will be the first one where I really don't care if anybody listens. I don't care if anybody likes it. I just want to do this because of music, and I love hip hop, I love country, I love folk, I love R&B, I love so many types of music, and you're gonna hear so many types of music.
Old music?
Say it again.
Is it just something that?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do old. I'm gonna do new. I'm gonna do everything. I love it all, Dre. I love it all.
Basically, it's put the podcast on and sit back and listen.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
If you got an hour to enjoy music and vibe out to, you're gonna like it. Some days it's gonna get you hype. Some days it's gonna make you chill. Some days it's gonna make you say, "What the hell is this?" Some days it's gonna make you just say, "Man, you know what? I love my wife." Some days it's gonna make you say, "I hate my kids." So I mean, it's gonna be just whatever I'm feeling and whatever is going on. We're gonna have different curators also on the show, different DJs on the show, playing their mixes and what they feel. But it's just an outlet for music crackheads and music fiends like myself. So
right, no commercials in the middle of it, anything like that.
Yeah, it'll be a nice hour long. Make sure it be nice hour long, maybe 45 to an hour, and it was just be for the music people. So. Few music and American Guys Away already heard my first mix. He told me it was dope, so I know I'm dope.
Shout out.
So I know I'm dope.
Did you just name
I know it's dope. I know it's dope.
You name dropped me.
No, it's dope, son. Yeah.
I like the fact that he did that on the first one that had my beats in it.
Yeah, I did.
So in my head, I'm like, he likes the one I need.
There will be dub beats in every single one I do. A dub beat will end the show every single time. Just like on all our
in the
shows.
show? In the show?
Every time.
Oh, I didn't know that, man.
Every time.
See, look, today they be so selfish, man.
Every time.
Always just do with self.
Every time. Every time, because every show we do on Ball, a beat that Dub does ends the show. So every single time we'll continue in that tradition, and we'll end the show with that. So yeah, check it out. Listen, it'll be out very, very soon. Very, 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 very soon. So Dre, you want our families, bro. You want our family members. We appreciate you coming on. Christian is awesome also, man. We sorry he got kicked off of here, but we appreciate you guys coming on our show, man. We're gonna do this again, brother.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys having us on, and we have to have you guys on our podcast.
Yes,
very, very soon.
Yes. Ooh. You can check us out on Twitter at Ball Sports, on Instagram at Ball Sports. Listen to us on our website, ballsports.com, stitcher.com, iTunes, where you can subscribe to it for free, Google Play, TuneIn Media, and we are now on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen.
And Stitcher.
Chris. And Stitcher, yes.
Yeah, Stitcher. Chris. And like Dave said, if you can find our show on a website, which is ballsports.com, BAWL sports.com. And there's a blue donate button on the right corner. If you feel like you get value from the show, you want to donate a buck or two, it helps out a lot. It helps us out with hosting and all that, buying a microphone, all kind of stuff. And for those who donated thus far, thank you very much. We know who you are.
Yes,
much appreciated. If you can't donate, we understand. spread the love on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. And we appreciate it, man. All the love.
All the love, man. On behalf of Christian, on behalf of Dre from According to Sources podcast, that's my main man, Chris, aka C-Dub. I'm Big Dave. We'll see y'all next time. Enjoy the playoffs, y'all. Be cool. Peace. Love.